Hey, Tom here from the Run Testers. In this video, I'm going to be doing my first run review of an exciting shoe that I've been trying to get hold of for a while. It's the New Balance More V6. Let's have a look. The New Balance Fresh Foam X More V6 costs £150 or $154.99. It weighs 291 grams or 10.3 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 4mm. The More has always been a shoe designed for easy mile comfort. Over the previous versions, it has seen a number of developments, with the More V5 delivering a noticeably softer ride than its predecessors. And although welcomed by some, that change did have an adverse effect on the stability of the shoe. The More V6 makes a few tweaks across the shoe to rectify that, including a more structured heel counter and higher sidewalls, aiming to continue the comfort people expect from the More line, but with plenty of support. The shoe also features a roomier engineered mesh upper to improve the fit, and there's a modest level of outsole rubber to protect the midsole and provide a good level of grip. The New Balance More V6 is also available in a wide version. So fit for me in the More V6, I'm a size 8 in the UK, this is a size 8. Very comfortable shoe. In fact, there's been some updates to the design of this version to make it even roomier than the previous version. So plenty of space before my big toe. It's quite roomy around the forefoot, but it's also not as shallow as the More V5. I didn't have any problems with the V5, but there's a little bit more depth in the toe section of this. It also feels a little bit roomier around the midfoot as well. And there's a redesigned or more supportive heel counter at the back to give it a bit of a better fit. So I definitely stay to my UK size 8 in this shoe. Very comfortable, very plush shoe, and have had no issues with it on that first run. So if you're a fan of the channel, you'll know I talk about the More range quite a lot. I just find that it works really well for me. I like the comfort level of it. I like the plushness of it. I just love it for going out and ticking off the miles in lots of nice soft comfort. But what I also find about the previous versions as well is that they roll through quite nicely. It's got a relatively low drop, 4mm, but it does feel like a shoe that rolls you from heel to toe quite nicely, and just really makes those easy runs easier, which is basically what I use this shoe for, or the previous versions of the shoe. So off that first run, so I did a 12k, a fairly comfortable pace for me. It varied between about 4-minute 55 kilometers up to about 6-minute kilometers, just to really see what it was like at those really comfortable slow paces. And it's more of the same really. The More range changed quite a bit from the V4 to the V5, and the main difference in that was the midsole is quite a bit softer, and it did change the ride of the shoe quite a bit to make it more soft and cushioning, comfortable on the run. The More V6 is more of the same. There's not that many major changes that I noticed on that first run. The foam is still quite soft. It's not the softest foam out there. It's not like running in the Evo SL or something like that, but it's definitely quite a soft feeling foam, which is very much tailored towards those easier runs. It's not the most responsive foam, and the roll through, that heel to toe transition is very nice. It's very smooth, but also it's not particularly a shoe that's designed for picking up the pace at all, which you could probably guess from the size of the shoe and the weight of it. It's a shoe firmly designed for those easier runs, and it still works very, very well for that. So yeah, after that first run, I didn't really notice any major updates. I know that I read that there are some modifications made to the stability of this shoe. The most noticeable is the heel counter, which is a lot more structured than in the More V5. But other than that, I didn't really notice anything major. I think the sidewalls are meant to be slightly higher, but I didn't really notice any stability gains from that. And also, I did read that the outsole, or the midfoot of the shoe was slightly wider than the V5. That wasn't on the New Balance site. There's not a lot of information from New Balance on this shoe. But when I actually compare it to the More V5, the More V5 actually is slightly wider than the More V6. So definitely hasn't got a wider base on it than the previous version impression from the ones that I tested. But it does feel very much like the same. It's very much a shoe design for comfort. It ticks all the boxes. If you're a fan of the previous More V5, you're not going to be surprised by this shoe in any stretch of the imagination. The only benefit you're probably going to get over the top of the More V5 is the slightly roomier fit and a little bit more lockdown from that slightly changed heel counter. But yeah, very enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be using this shoe quite a lot over the next few weeks. I've got a lot of easy runs in at the moment. I'm not doing loads of speed stuff, so I'm definitely skewing more towards the easier shoes. And so this has come at the right time. So looking forward to churning out quite a bit more in this and seeing if there's any major differences. I'll also do a full versus of the More V5 and More V6 when I've been able to test it in a lot more detail to see if there are any noticeable differences. But at the moment, more of the same, very comfortable. So my early verdict on the New Balance More V6 is that it is still a fantastic cushioned easy day shoe. I wouldn't use it for anything else. I think it's just really smooth and comfortable when you're just clocking up the miles. You're not running fast or anything like that. I think the midsole is nice and it really does sink nicely in, but not too much. It's quite a balanced midsole. It's not the sort of midsole that is going to feel sluggish like the previous 1080. So the 1080 V13 was a very, very soft shoe, and a lot of people didn't like that very much because you didn't get the energy back. This is a bit more balanced, and that's a result of having just more of that foam in there. But it just feels like you get a nice level of comfort and softness from the run, and you get a nice smooth heel to toe transition in it as well. So yeah, good first impressions, not surprising first impressions based on my knowledge of the previous versions of the shoe, but definitely a shoe that is not going to surprise you. But for most people, it's a very, very nice, comfortable, easy run shoe. The only thing that I'm not too keen on is the fact that it's gone up by £10 in the UK now. So it was previously £140 in the UK, it's gone to 150, which is quite a big jump from two different versions of a shoe. Considering from what I can tell at the moment, it's not a massive departure from the previous version. But other than that, looking forward to do some more testing it. That's it from me on this first run of the New Balance More V6. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click that little bell. If you go to the caption below, you can find it to our podcast, which comes out a couple of times each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.